have a big enough microphone, you can hear both.
Oh my god. It's gonna go downhill fast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially now that I click live.
I want you to put 4 fingers in your cup.
Got 3 fingers. 3 fingers of bourbon right here.
Andre fingers, they're like that.
Are we live now?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that was a great intro, man.
Oh, hang on. You want to do it legit? Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me compose myself. Okay, hang on. Hey, everybody! It's time for the Friday night hangout. We have a brew, shoot the breeze. Oh, we're already half cut, which is awesome. Keith will have has our lineup for tonight. So
It's too late
it
for
is.
any kind of forum. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, the worst part is I probably have some other problems with this live stream. But at least the audio is looking good. I was having
Sounds half decent right now, at least this time.
Well,
Until your furnace kicks in.
Well, hopefully we'll have at least 45 minutes of quiet time between the three of us. Let's do a round of intros here because I guess we're going to do it for real here. We got from Toronto, we got Jocelyn with us and Charlene in the other room. And somewhere, social distancing. Also from Wallace River, Keith Elliott from KeithElliottStone.com. How's it going, Keith?
Good, Jim.
Good. All right, we've been warming up for the last 45 minutes. Of course, I'm here in Halifax, so we've been...
I'm warm. I'm so warm I could float away.
We're having a great...
That gives a whole other meaning to KeithElliottStone.com, right?
Tough times call for whatever. I don't know.
Well, Joss and me and Keith, we were discussing before you joined us here how this week's been shack wacky. We've been starting to get a little bit of shack wacky towards the end of the week. I don't know if it's the same for you, but by Wednesday, especially today, it was not a good scene to be overly productive if you had to work from home or try to be focused on anything.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's been different for me. I'm involved in so many things that I have never been busier in my life. It's been that kind of week where I'm stuck in this room, for the major part of the day until we go out for our kind of routine walk these days. Go out and walk, But yeah, it's been really busy for me. But I get what you're saying, though.
Keith, how about you?
I just find it, sometimes it's hard to focus, but yeah, I mean, there's always something to do. Like today, I was busy. It wasn't all work. It was, gathering up supplies and then work. So, but yeah, it's just hard to get in a groove. That's what I find the big thing is, even if I'm busy, it's hard just to get in that groove because nothing's quite normal. Even if it's your day goes a little differently, it's just interacting. You can't interact with people at work if you have questions or need somebody else to do something. You have to wait. If you need supplies, some supply places are closed, or you're going to have to wait a damn long time to get them. So just everything's off kilter.
It is same thing.
Sure is.
Same thing for us. We've been trying to do some regular routines here where we were just going out for a walk or just trying to get something going on here. At least, going in the backyard, shoot around. Ironically, the thing that the little one is getting into this week or the last week and a half is lacrosse. I have a set of lacrosse, a lacrosse ball and some lacrosse, whatever. What do you call those? Nets, sticks, whatever. Anyway, of all the things she's getting into for activity, she's just in there. But I don't know, especially today. Today's been kind of odd. Now, of course, we've been having a couple days of rain here, Joss. And now Keith, apparently he's in the promised land. He didn't get much rain. But I got off of my personal weather station yesterday, in the last 24 hours, 81 millimeters of rain.
What? Oh man, that's
So,
a lot.
so I was checking on the Twitter. There's a Jim Abraham here that does retired meteorologist, and he's saying there's a couple places around Hammond's Plains, which is my neck of the woods, they logged 68 millimeters of rain. So we
That's a lot, right?
must have hit a sweet spot. So
Yeah, so that's tons of rain, man. It's been not bad here. Yesterday was a beautiful day here. I was sitting, I was actually doing some work out on the balcony, and I even think I think I got some color on my face, even, which is crazy.
you mean color? What?
I'm getting some color on my face right now. It's
Yeah.
better, better.
Yeah, I was in the sun for quite a while, and it was yeah, it felt great. It's the kind of stuff we need right now, right? It's those little things.
Well, especially when it's spring, snow's melted, the temperature's getting a little bit warmer. You want to go outside. You get that spring air in the air. You want to do stuff. So I know, Keith, are you doing like little nature walks there behind the house with the bears, or what's going on?
Oh, yeah, gotta get the kids out and the dog out and go for a walk. For sure.
Yeah.
I did a nature walk out to Costco yesterday. I ventured out to Costco,
Did you
and
gather any wild berries or did you see any wildlife?
there was a lot of wildlife. Um, they kept the wildlife quite contained. I gotta say, they did an amazing job of keeping things orderly, um, limiting the number of people in the store and so on. They really did a good job at that. I have to commend them.
Well, same thing with the Sobeys too. I went in there today there when I was trying to get some some food today, and they got the little arrows for the lanes so you can follow it, and then of course when you're crossing, when you go up an aisle, that the arrow is a different person in front of you looks at you with those dirty looks, and it's like you need to be going. You're against the flow, son, and it's like, sorry, let me turn around and just do a bunch of rigmarole. That's all. But nothing beats my NSLC with their painters' drop cloths in front of them, masking them from the illness, from the sickness, just like a scene of Dexter.
Painter's drop cloth.
What?
Like a thin sheet of plastic?
Yeah. Hey,
yeah, it's like, wow.
Spare no expense.
I guess they haven't got the plexiglass shields up yet. I don't know.
No. Well, they don't get the good Sobeys money for the plexiglass shields, right? So,
Wow.
yeah. But that's the only one that particular location does that. I went to another location. They don't have that plastic drop cloth or plastic sheet or whatever. So, but they don't want to handle the bottles anymore. So when you go over, you gotta turn the bottle so that they can just scan the barcode, and of course you do tap and all that stuff. So
they got the tap limit, which is nice, and you gotta go get a big order of groceries or whatever, or
Yeah, when I went to Costco yesterday, the Costco I go to has a self checkout, so I did that, and it's a bit cumbersome because I always think that checkout is not the most efficient way of doing things because you're trying to scan stuff on your own, and you do this like maybe once or 2 weeks. These people do it all the time. They're professionals at doing this. So I typically kind of avoid self checkout because of that. Um, but I thought, hey, not a bad idea right now.
Yeah, I know what you mean because it happened to me this week. Earlier in the week, I had to go and do just a little quick grocery run on Monday, Tuesday, and just get a couple things. So I went to a Sobeys with self checkouts, and there was one item that I couldn't get it to scan, right? And it was one of those extra items I didn't necessarily need. It was a nice to have, but I need to have. So I was like trying to tell that poor lady, it's like, there's a sticker on the barcode and I can't scan it, so I don't want it. And then she's trying to grab it, and she's grabbing it with her forearms instead of her hands, but she has a full face mask, and she has the latex glove. I was like, just take it, just take it.
Pitiful.
She's almost like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was like, I'm sorry. If I could scan it, I would. But it's like, do you want me to run out and get you? It's across the other end of the store. There's 4 people giving me dirty looks because I haven't. I scanned 2 items above the normal limit you would have for self checkout. So anyway.
Oh, you're one of those.
No. I try to keep it between 12 and 15.
Oh man.
You bastard.
Man. Yeah, really.
But whoa, here, but I'm not the lady that has a full shopping cart of stuff doing the self checkout. It's stuff that I had in my hands. It's whatever I could carry in my arms, Jocelyn. It wasn't a basket or a cart.
But are the stores limiting customers now? The grocery stores?
Not yet.
They are here because everybody that goes in the store now has to take a cart. Doesn't matter if you want one thing or a cart full. You have to take a cart. When all the carts are gone, nobody else goes in the store until more carts come out.
Oh.
So that's how they're limiting traffic in the stores.
Well,
So I didn't even bother going in the store, and like I said, I had the groceries put in my trunk, and I drove away. It was great. Just emailed it in, and called in my Visa. It was great. So kind of takes stress off of them and me, and I get my Doritos. So.
Well, it's funny. Well, you mentioned that, but today though, there was a guy right at the door with a little clicker. He was counting.
That's probably what they're doing.
Yeah, they were limiting the number of people in the store at Costco. What was weird is Costco when you go in and you walk up the first aisle, and usually pretty much all Costco's are the same. You walk up that first aisle towards the back of the store, and on your left is all of the clothing. All the clothing is there, and shoes and stuff, and then the books. Anyways, usually that's teeming with people, and there was nobody there. Nobody.
This is a problem. This is where we were talking about last time in the Hangout. Well, it's not necessarily a problem. It's the change of behavior. We're saying that people are now going to be gravitating to these online deliveries, doing all these things now where you don't necessarily have to get out. So you have your Uber Eats, you have your groceries. You think about all the stuff that you can grab your pickup. If you want something from Best Buy, you can get it. I think, however, today they didn't have that option, but you can just do an order and you'll drive up to the curb and they'll bring it out to you. Same thing with Canadian Tire and all that stuff. All these stores are offering pickup services now, pay and pick up. And I'm wondering how much is that going to stay afterwards. That was the big question we had the other week. But do you guys see now that we're in week 3 of really hardcore, and let's face it, we're going to be doing this for the next 6 weeks minimum.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like this is this status quo basically, right?
I think this service will continue to be offered, but maybe after the epidemic is over, that they may start charging for curbside pickup. Who knows? But it's a nice service to have. Chris and I were talking about it. If you say you're going somewhere and you're renting a cottage, or you're coming home from a long trip, just send your order in, pick it up, go home. You don't have to frig around the store. You're done.
Yeah, so the only thing, obviously right now, it's hard to get a pick of slots when you can just drive in and get somebody to deliver it to you. You have to, for us, we got to plan almost a week ahead for our grocery runs. We've been doing the Walmarts. But like you're saying, Keith, you're coming back from a vacation or something, and let's say you're in another province or whatever, and you're a couple hours from home, while you're driving, the missus can be on her phone loading up hey, what do we need for supper tonight while we get home? And then, as we're passing through this Walmart, we can find a slot and park and get our groceries and be on our way, and we won't lose more than
an hour, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, at least an hour. So.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think, Jocelyn?
Well, listen, I think online ordering and pickup or delivery is going to for sure accelerate during this event, and it's going to remain afterwards. There's no doubt. Right now, I think a lot of companies, especially here in Toronto, it's kind of a big thing right now. They're struggling to have enough people to pick and pack the orders and then ship them or get them ready for pickup. So I think those companies, Loblaws, Sobeys, Metro, they're all going to be on a hiring spree right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There was a thing. Lyft. Lyft doesn't have an agreement, just like Uber has. So Lyft had been sending people to, I think, Amazon, I think, or some other grocery service to help them out because they're like idle. So.
Right.
So I am just checking here on the videos.
I know my audio was a bit low. Is it better now?
No, still the same there.
Still low, huh? I don't know what's up with that.
Just for example, grab your headphone wire with the one the mic, and just leave it like.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's the mic.
It's better now.
Oh yeah. Well,
really?
Yeah, just hold it more like this.
Yeah, right on. Okay, we'll do that.
See, that sounds 100% better.
Huh. Weird.
Well, maybe it's our conspiracy that me and Keith started, is that all the people in Ontario taking all the internet in Canada tonight, watching their goddamn Tiger King on Netflix.
Oh man.
Which I have not finished yet. I'm still on episode 1, man. I'm retweeting all the memes and stuff because I got it. I was reading all the other.
I haven't started that, and I don't know if I will.
I don't know. I might succumb to the temptation at some point.
That's good. It's nothing wrong looking at a little bit of trash on the TV. That's all.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Let's do. Oh, we haven't done this with the second go around here, but we can do what we're drinking tonight.
Hell yes. I'll go first here.
All right. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking this phenomenal Solstice. It's a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, 11.5% from Great Lakes Brewery here in Etobicoke, Ontario.
Nice.
One of the oldest craft breweries in Canada, 1987.
Now you get that personally delivered to your place, don't you?
Well, this one I actually bought at the brewery a couple months ago, but yes, now they are doing free deliveries in this area here in Etobicoke, which is fantastic. But others, they're not the only one. I was reading one of my favorite breweries, Elle Woods, right here on. Oh my God, what's the name of the street? I can't remember. But they just announced today that they're doing $10 flat fee delivery anywhere in Ontario.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. They must.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal, man.
Well, it's funny. Back. Well, let's finish the round of what we're drinking here. We'll go back to the delivery that microbrews and wineries are doing here. Keith, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm just drinking the Jamesons tonight.
That's right, Jameson, son.
All gray fingers.
So we're using Andre the Giant finger size to pour our drinks tonight. So I'm drinking the Blanton's. So normally I'm drinking in.
I have to say,
yes.
Jim bought that bottle of Blanton today. I'm just pointing that out. Just pointing it out.
Yeah, well,
That's how much is in my bottle, and I've had it since Jim gave it to me in October.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how you guys can maintain alcohol in your cupboards. Me, it just goes like water. I drink it, but when you buy a Yeti cup, it tells you on the paper you can fit 3 fingers of bourbon. So I started with 3 fingers of bourbon, right? So now I'm 2 fingers away, right? So this hand's gonna last for a while, boys.
So listen, I got to say this. So Keith, you said that you have the same amount of bourbon in your Blanton's bottle that you've had for months now, right? as what Jim has in the same day. So
Yes.
my opinion of that is that there's something wrong with both of you.
I've got my pipe too.
Come on, Jocelyn. Have her. What are you trying to say? Say we have a problem? Say we have either of us have a problem?
Well, Keith has the opposite problem.
No,
Things.
have you seen? You've seen his stash. You've seen his liquor stash there behind that curtain there.
Yes.
It is formidable.
Yes, formidable indeed.
Hey, we'll take a quick look at the comments here. So, Bluefin was saying here from Newfoundland, he's back on. He was able to stay with us here. So, he said here, when my son was in Toronto for university this winter, we relied on Walmart for grocery delivery for him. It was only $10 delivery. He was living downtown. Getting groceries was difficult. It is true when you're downtown, new city, not quite sure where the grocery stores are. Like I was staying in Calgary downtown for a few months. No grocery stores around there. Same thing when I was in Quebec City too. If you're around old Quebec, not too many grocery stores in the hood. You have to walk, right? Depending where you are. So yeah. So paying for these extra $10 deliveries makes a lot of sense. But let's swing back to what we were saying here about the delivery and stuff like that. So Jocelyn was talking about how breweries are starting to offer some delivery, and he had a good example here, very low cost delivery around the GTA or Etobicoke, like.
Well, so Great Lakes is free delivery around Etobicoke here, some kind of a small perimeter, but Elle Woods is $10 flat fee anywhere in Ontario. And obviously, it's that whole bullshit about provincial borders as it relates to alcohol in Canada, right? Where they can't go across the border. You know, it would actually be cheaper for them to deliver beer to Montreal than to Thunder Bay. But Thunder Bay is in the province, so they can do it.
Yeah.
Just a load of crap, you know.
Oh yeah, it is. But a lot of the local breweries are doing it too, and also the wineries. I noticed from Wolfville, they start to do runs down to Halifax. So basically, 3 bottle minimum. Load up the back of their van, and they're just doing a run. So they're coming down, and as long as you get it in after a certain time, they'll do a delivery next day. They'll do a whole run and deliver booze or wine bottles to people down in the Halifax Dartmouth area. So, I mean, it works out for them, right? They're still charging probably, with their little delivery costs baked in, let's say 3 bottles, in Nova Scotia wine now, it's $17, $18 a bottle, let's be honest. You're spending $60, maybe $80. Not a bad run, right?
Listen, I know that for now the provincial authorities are tolerating, this kind of stuff because it's not technically legal to do that. But I hope that this is the start of something a bit different, where those antiquated liquor laws get relaxed a little bit, especially to help local and very small producers of beer, wine, spirits now a lot too, right? So a lot of small micro distilleries around. Oh, by the way, one of the things that I should mention, because I went there 2 weeks ago, and this is not the only example of this, but there is a distillery here in Toronto, in what is aptly called a distillery district, called Spirit of York, and they started making some hand sanitizer. Because that's just distilled alcohol, right? So they started making hand sanitizer and selling it out their window there, not letting people in, but selling it in small bottles, and collecting money that goes to food banks. So good for them. And they're not the only example of this, but they're certainly one of the examples of companies that are trying to make a difference.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm starting to see a whole bunch of pictures of distilleries doing doing their antiseptic, doing their parts there and stuff like that. So I don't know. There's like a dozen that I've seen so far, so that's really good for them. The food bank was a new one. I haven't heard anybody doing that yet. But speaking about food, just because of the topic, I've been seeing here an article on CBC this afternoon. There was this place here that opened up last fall, this off-grid cabin business in Cape Breton. I don't know if you guys remember Iron Mountain or Ironbound Mountain, Iron whatever. Off-grid, me and Keith, we talked about it there up in Waikakama and stuff like that. Nice little spot for us to go. They have a lot of craft beer on tap. Anyway, they were on the CBC there today saying that they're, because they had just, they got their CBD loan, their Canadian Business Development loan, and they couldn't get a deferral. So they still had to pay interest on their loan, which was about $1,600. So they're worried that they may not make it to the end because they have to default on all the loans, default on the interest to get them going there, which is unfortunate because judging from their Instagram and stuff like that, they had a business going on there until everything went up the hell there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it looked good for the winters, snowmobiles in there, and it looked promising to me, but unfortunately this is going to kill a lot of businesses. They won't have the capital to ride, they won't have the money to ride things out, and that's not, unreasonable that they wouldn't. A lot of new businesses, they're just on the wire, you're just making enough to keep the lights on. You have to be open every day. There's a big business in the States, he said he's losing $20,000 a day because he can't be open, and he said that doesn't sound like a lot, but he said, the tank's going to be empty in about 3 weeks, and he's going to be shutting down, so.
I believe it.
That's one thing, that I think people are coming to realize right now is that businesses, as you just pointed out, Keith, and that's a key point, businesses can only operate when they're operating every day or every normal day that they operate in. And the amount of cash in these businesses is very, very finite and very limited. And I think right now businesses that are going to survive this are doing whatever they can to try to minimize the outflow of cash.
Yeah, that means starting laying it off. We're starting to see the trends now with cities, towns across Canada, Calgary, I think New Brunswick somewhere. They're starting laying off the seasonal parks and recreation people for laying them off because nothing's going on for the next little while. So you're starting to see it in the public sector. If you're starting to see it in the public sector, you can just imagine, how these small businesses are just hanging on for a couple more weeks, or in my situation where you have this larger corporation that it's only be a matter of time now that, who's bringing in the money versus who's not bringing in the money. And there will be some...
The problem with that, though, is those, different levels of government. Like for example, let's take Alberta having put all their teachers, out to pasture, essentially, and told them to go on EI. Essentially, they're just shoveling the responsibility forward to the federal government. And what's the use of that, right? It's shouldn't they have kept those teachers on the payroll and have them paid normally? Because the debt associated with paying those people that can't work right now is still being incurred, whether it's by the provincial or the federal government. So, and I'm not making politics here. It's just like try to keep things as local as you possibly can in the public sector, right? The private sector is a whole other story.
Yeah. Well, now you picked a wrong example with Alberta, because Alberta, they just laid off with that new UCP government, 2,000-3,000 public sector plus universities. Like they were actually canceling university programs because of the cuts that we're doing and stuff like that. And of course, now you need them to do all this online training. They're like, whoops, sorry, you got nothing going on. But it's true though. Like why do they need to be pushing the buck onto the federal government, because really they could have easily, if anybody's be able to access the federal cash, so municipalities, they can float a few hundred employees and stuff like that. We're not doing much, or don't know, when things start ramping up again, it's like, okay, what are you gonna do? How's this gonna work?
It's not the government's business to try to run itself like a business. Right now it's just to, keep lights on, or we're going to be in one hell of a recession or worse.
Well,
we're going to be in a recession regardless.
Oh yeah. Now I am.
Yeah, but it's going to be worse if they don't take care of things.
Yes.
I am so glad that I have zero retirement funds in stocks, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are looking at their investments. They're probably, how bad, Jocelyn? I got nothing. So.
Oh no, it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad.
Fortunately for me and others, I'm not old enough that it matters at this point. I think the markets will rebound way before I'm ready for retirement. But I certainly feel for people who are expecting to retire in the next year or two. Some of them, it won't be possible. It just won't be economically feasible.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just ignoring my investments for now.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Go look at it.
Yeah. Well, that's the benefit of me switching jobs every couple of years. I always got my other funds tucked away. Whatever my previous employer, I get an envelope every year, which I don't open because I don't want to know where things are at. But as you can tell, it's not a lot of vested funds. That's why I'm working. That's why I'll be working forever. I will never retire.
Well, you can afford some Blantons. Yes.
That's right. You need some more Blantons. Ease the pain away.
Yes. Absolutely.
Boy. Anyway, so we got so for the folks watching on the YouTube feed here, we got a couple of things going on here. We had the Bluefin watching a bit. People can take a look at my Twitter feed, and I got some random wallpaper images going up here. But looks like at least for us, our call looks very good here. And yeah, well, look at this. Just received a message. Oh yeah, the guy that comes in late and then says, "Oh, I'm tired." You're an hour behind us.
Yes, this is true. This is true. It's been a long day, boys.
Yeah, I hear ya.
It's been a long day. It was a tough day today.
Yeah.
Our company had to do a lot of layoffs, so it was a tough day.
Another one. Now,
It was a bad day.
oof. Bluefin saying in the chat here, his RSPs are all in stock, not good at all. I was hoping to retire from offshore this summer, not anymore.
No kidding.
No,
That's
terrible.
That's awful.
That
is terrible.
That's gonna be, God, okay. So, in his situation, are you thinking next summer, next fall? Like how long do we? Because I can absolutely picture this type of situation here. What kind of calculations I want to make here to?
Well, listen, it's hard to predict, right? Because right now the stocks, the stock exchange, so the Dow index has fallen back to 2017 levels. Okay, so 3 years just got erased.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Nobody knows. If we had a crystal ball, it'd be easy to just call it, right? But is it going to take a year to rebuild? 3 years to rebuild? It took 3 years to get from 2017 to here, and then back to 2017. So, man, oh man, I don't know, but I feel for guys like Bluefin and others.
Exactly. So now Bluefin may not have a plan at all. So what's the alternative? Because does he still have to do another year? Like you say, does he do a year? Does he 2, 3? like I just said, I don't plan to retire at all, right? I'm not I'm not my luck of the draw wasn't that kind to me and stuff like that, right? So I mean, like you were saying earlier, I mean, people who are expecting to do stuff this year, especially this year, right, or the end of last year, you think about, let's bring it back to, when I'm on YouTube, I see all these. Usually in the winter, I look at RVs or camper trailers and stuff. So now I was getting into the camper trailer mood, watching videos, and now this has been the last 3 weeks. So now I'm seeing videos of all these RVers. One, no place to go because all the campgrounds are closing and stuff like that. Two, all their YouTube revenue is dropping like a rock because the ads from YouTube have dropped about 40%, if not 50%. Yeah. I'm looking at my analytics, and the thing for me, and you guys know, my revenue has been very consistent over the last 6-7 years and stuff. This month, at least it's going to be at least half of what it's going to be. So you can just imagine people who've been banking on doing something silly as YouTube videos and stuff. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, goes back to the small business doing stuff every day, right? It's the everyday grind to do stuff like a little bit every day, but now that's gone. So in the grand scheme of things, you end up with nothing, right?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that YouTube advertising revenues had dropped so much.
Yeah.
Podcast consumption's way down too, way down, because I listen to, and I've stopped listening to podcasts. I listen to a lot less than I have been because it's all the same thing. They're complaining about not having guests. They're talking about COVID-19, the whole thing, and it's just like, ugh. And then they're complaining about people not listening. So after a while, it's like, okay, I'm just going to take a break from this for a little while. It's the same old thing. But yeah, podcast consumption's way down. But that's probably because a lot of people aren't commuting to work and are at home.
Oh yeah, okay, good point. Hadn't thought of that.
I was just gonna bring up here on my my ad revenue, my analytics. So normally I have about 10 to 12,000, let's say 11,000 on average views every 2 days. So about 5,500 stuff. Now I'm down, and this has been consistent for the last while, 8,300 for 2 days. So instead of 5,500 views per day, I'm down to just 41.5 or something like that. So it's a little bit of a drop, but the actual revenue, is down by half. I'm looking at this, and it's almost by half. So it's a huge difference here.
What do you think that is? Because it could be argued that people have more time right now to watch YouTube videos. Is it because of the type of content that you're
No. I think it's just the inventory. The inventory is getting low, and it drops down. Now normally, February is a big drop in the inventory, and we didn't see that much of a drop. But the amount of drop that started right on March 15th is quite noticeable. If I can find a graph here, if I can get a graph, if I can find a graph, I'll share with you guys here, either privately or whatever. But it's very interesting how things kind of just dried up very quickly. Now I'm in a space where it doesn't really matter that much, but there are other people who really matter on like same day views or current subscribers and that kind of stuff. I really only rely on search. As long as people are searching for stuff, it's fine. But there's other people who are just a little bit more hard up. I'll have to dig out a graph here, but it was quite not as bad as the U.S. employment submissions. Not that straight line up, but it's it's interesting.
crazy numbers, huh?
Crazy. Let's see on the comments here. Bluefin was saying here, Bluefin saying you might pick up a great used cheap camper this summer. Yeah, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of for sale stuff. Now
I think there's going to be a lot of stuff for sale on Kijiji and stuff like that. Period. whatever
yeah.
it is.
Oh yeah. Well, for us, the reason why there's so much garbage behind me, as you guys know, this is the last bit of the purge. We've separated all the woods and metals for the landfill, which we can't bring because everything's closed. We got a whole bunch of trash bags over here, which is all the stuff we need to bring to the landfill. So all those plans are done because we were supposed to put the house on the market in the next couple weeks, right? So that is completely done, like done for now. I don't know what's going on. Like, the missus wants to do stuff, right? She's getting all shack-wacky too. She's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, to paint or whatever. And it's like, why? Like, I know you want to be busy and stuff, but I mean, until this garbage gets in the landfill, let's get some room here so we can actually do some stuff here.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Boys, what do you think? We should wrap it up or what?
It's time.
It's time. Jocelyn's looking a little bit red in the face. Me and Keith we're good for a while.
I'm not good for anything.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks for Bluefin for jumping in. I know there's a few other people. Looks like there's a couple more people here that were watching us here.
We're trying,
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying with this technology and stuff here. We'll get it figured out here soon enough. So, or
We'll probably have
I'll use my big YouTube checks to buy a new computer, and we can have some good video.
People go watch Jim's videos right now.
Yeah, that's right. Go watch all my Garmin stuff, so I can how to press a button.
There's playlists there.
That's right, lots of playlists. All right, cool guys. All right, let's close out the stream, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll have the edited podcast over the weekend. You can always check that on the Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts. All right, have a good night, guys.
See you next week.
Good night.